Okay, so today what I wanted to talk about is time management and planning out your day because I know so many of us work full time. Like, we are not full time coaches and we are fitting this business into the rest of our lives. And it can get super overwhelming and stressful if we are not intentional about how we spend the pockets of our time that we're working. Because I know, at least for me personally, I get caught up in feeling like I'm working, but I'm really not doing anything that's actually productive. I'm more so just like scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, and in my brain, it feels like I'm working, but I'm not actually getting anything done that's going to move my business forward. So I think if we can all just get more intentional about the work time that we do spend each day, then we can actually spend less time and get more done, and have more time with our families, like less time feeling super stressed, and just making sure that we are getting all of the most important things done every single day. So I thought about this a lot this week because I was really struggling with it and just feeling like I didn't have enough time in the day to work my business the way that I wanted to. But when I took a step back, I realized I was doing a lot of multitasking and not really focusing on one thing at a time and really like actually getting something done in that area. So I'm going to walk you all through kind of how I did it. If you want to get out a piece of paper and kind of walk through your day in the same way, then that works. Or, I mean, you can always do this later as well. But so the first thing is, if you want to look at it in a broader perspective, like look at your month. Get a blank. Let's see, I got one. Get a blank calendar, print it off, or if you have a planner and you want to do it in there, and write down like the most important dates for things as a whole. So like, when are we having trainings? When are our team calls? Like your national wake up call, that's every week. When are the different groups that the Dynasty page is doing? When do you need to write those down? Also in April, Super Weekend is coming up, so I put that on there. But basically just the things that you need to put on there first when you're looking at the month as a whole. Because if we aren't thinking ahead, then those like either launch days, like starting the start of 21 Day Fix, Super Saturday, when the free group starts, when a sneak peek is, like if we don't go ahead and put those out there and know and be able to see them on the calendar, then it'll be like the day before and we're like, oh crap, like the free group starts tomorrow and I haven't even invited anybody to join it. So it's just like planning those things out. That way you can backtrack into, okay, if the free group starts on the 11th, then I need to start inviting to that the week before to make sure I can get people in there. So that is the first thing. And then you can break it down and look at your week. If there's anything special, like just look at your week, make sure that you have everything in there. And also if you have any like personal commitments that you have to do, like if your kids have a game or something at school, or if you have a doctor's appointment, like all of those things, get those in there because you can't move them around and you've got to make the time for them. And then I want you to treat your business activities that you do every day exactly like you would if they were a meeting or a doctor's appointment or something that you have to do. Because we make time, just like the price objection thing that we've been talking about a little bit, like we make time for the things that we want to do and that are important to us. Just like we find the money and we spend money on things that we really want. Because if you're just trying to find the time, it's not going to happen. You have to make time and put it in your calendar. So then what I did is kind of looked at my day. So like a typical day, not like one that has a bunch of like extra random things on it that aren't a daily occurrence. And I said, okay, what time do I get up in the morning? And I just started with a blank piece of paper, and I said, I get up at 4. So from 4 to 5, like I started just breaking it down into hours. So from 4 to 5 a.m., that is my me time. That is when I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to do my personal development. I'm going to journal and do all those things. Like that is my hour. And then from 5 to 6 is when I'm going to work out. And I put that in there. And that's what I'm going to do every single day. And then from 6 to 7 is when I have to get ready for work. Like, you have to have time to shower and get ready and get out the door. And so you can put that in there. Say, get ready. And then also, if you want to use that time, you can use it to do personal development. Listen to trainings that you've missed. Like, listen to the National Wake Up Call if you missed it. That's what I use that time for almost every day. So getting ready, and then on my way to work. So from 7 to 7:30 is when I'm on my way to work. And I try to listen to personal development in the car, or either listen to personal development, or if there's trainings and recordings that I need to catch up on, then I do that in the car because it's the only time I have to do it. And then, so my 5 to 6 during my workout block, that's also when I'm going to like post a picture, check into the accountability group, make sure I'm showing up there. That takes all of 2 seconds to post your sweaty selfie in there. Or if you have something extra that you want to post in there. And then when I get to work, I'm working. Like, for the longest time, I've been trying to like work and do my real job and try to do my business kind of at the same time throughout the day. And that just does not work at all, because I'm not 100% focused on my job, and I'm not 100% focused on my business. So I'm really, like, my brain is going 100 miles an hour, but I'm not really getting anything done because I'm not focused on one thing. That is the only way that I think you can really make any progress and get anything done, is focusing on one thing at a time. So the last couple of days, I have gotten to work and put my phone in my drawer and not opened up the internet browser to check my back office, to check Facebook messages, nothing. So from 7:30 until 12, I'm fully present at work and doing my job. And then I have decided that every single day from 12 to 1, I'm taking a lunch break. Like, I have fallen into the trap of, because I was multitasking and not really getting much done for my real job or for my business, then I was like, well, I don't really need to take a lunch break. I shouldn't take a lunch break because I haven't really gotten anything done today. And so then I would just work through lunch. And that is just not working at all. So if I'm intentionally focused on what I'm doing from 7:30 to 12, I could deserve to take a lunch break and do what I want with my hour that I get. So from 12 to 1 is going to be a power hour, business hour. So I'm going to shut the door to my office or go to my car, whatever I feel like doing that day. And I'm going to like put my little thing at work to where it looks like I'm away. I might even bring my own computer to work so I can work on that. But that is my hour to do what is the most important things to my business. And so I'm going to make a post. I'm going to do my invites, do my follow-ups, and clear out my inbox. And y'all, you will be so surprised how much you can get done in that 1 hour. Like, it's not even funny. One thing that I had forgotten to mention when I'm looking at my week as a whole is what I've started to do either on Saturday or Sunday is sit down and do what I call a content calendar for the week. And I just write down, y'all know we have that little schedule that we try to follow to make sure that we're talking about all the things, like sprinkling in business posts, lifestyle posts, products, all of those things, to make sure we're not always talking about the same thing all the time. So I sit down with that list and I open up a Word document. I use Google Sheets. That way I can access it on my computer or my phone. And I draft out my posts for the week, because it's super hard for me to sit down and have to come up with a post like every single time I need one. And And sometimes it changes. Sometimes I don't use the post that I wrote on Sunday because that's something else is on my mind that I feel like I want to talk about, and that's fine. But I just like to have something ready to go in case my brain, I just can't think and I just can't write anything down. And it has saved me so much time. And I feel like my posts have even been better just because, like, I had took the time to sit down and write them on Sunday and then just like tweak them a little bit right before I post them. So I do that. But so that's when I'm usually making my first post for the day is at noon, because that is the better time for me. I have found that posting first thing in the morning just doesn't really get a lot of engagement. So I've tried to stop doing that. So when you look at your tracker, those are the things like clear out your inbox if you have messages to get back to, do your invites and do your follow-ups. Like those are really the most important things to moving your business forward and making a post. That's what I think is the most important, other than like focusing on your own journey when you get down to like actionable business activities. So that's what I focus on for that 1 full hour. I set a stopwatch. This really helps too. Set a timer on your phone for 1 hour. And as soon as you have hit your hour, it's going to go off. And okay, whatever I've gotten done is what I've gotten done. I've been 100% focused. I put my business work away, and then I go back to my real job from 1 to 4:30. And then I'm done. I'm 100% focused. And then on my drive home, I'm giving myself from 4:30 to 6:30. And that is time for me to get home, get settled in, cook dinner, spend some time with Tyler before I just jump into working again, eat dinner with him, clean up, and then 6:30 to 7:30 is my other business hour. And those are, I'm going to try so hard to stick with this because, like, I fully believe that in 2 intentional hours a day, whether you can break it up into 2 1-hour chunks, or if you need to do 30 minutes here and there, whatever works for you, I fully believe that that is plenty of time to build a successful business. You just have to be intentional and you have to be focused on the tasks that you are doing. Not if you're initiating connections and like looking for new people to follow and liking their posts and stuff, don't be also checking your messages, if that makes sense. And don't get distracted by the notifications that are popping up, like so-and-so commented on your post, or so-and-so commented or posted in the challenge group. Don't get distracted by all of the things that can pull our attention away. If you're looking at this sheet, at your tracker, and you are working on whatever it could be, like I said, if you're working on this one, initiate connections and add followers for 20 minutes. If that's what you're doing, that is what you're doing and nothing else. You're not scrolling on Instagram. You're not checking your phone to see who called or who might have texted you, and you're not checking the notifications that are popping up on Facebook. One thing at a time. It's like Rachel Hollis says, you can only work on one goal at a time, and you can only work on one task at a time if you're going to be really good at it and be the most efficient that you can. And if that means putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, or turning the notifications on your computer off so they're not like popping up, then do it. Whatever you need to do to keep yourself focused. And so my hour at night is going to be focused on, since I already did my invites and my follow-ups, I don't have to worry about those. I can clear my inbox again, get back to everyone who replied back to me during the afternoon, initiate my connections, reach out to new people. I can respond to questions from challengers, from coaches. I can recognize achievement, shout somebody out on my stories, shout somebody out on the team page, and then make sure that I have posted some kind of call to action or recognition and shout out on my stories. And that's what I focus on for my hour at night. And then, you know what? I've gotten everything on my tracker checked off. And it's not like overwhelming with so much running around in my brain. And then at 7:30, so I set my timer for 1 hour again. At 7:30, I'm done, close it up, and I have 30 minutes to unwind, wash my face, put my pajamas on, and be in bed by 8 o'clock so I can get my 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. So that is the goal. And obviously that's not going to work out perfectly every single day because life happens and things come up and you might have to go out to dinner for work, or you might have to go to a soccer game or something. Like, life is going to happen, and it's not going to be the perfect schedule like you have lined out every day. So know that going into it, do your best to stay on track and stick to the plan and the schedule that you've made, but also at the same time be flexible and know that, okay, if I've got something else to do tonight, or if we have a call or we're doing a sneak peek or something, I'm going to have to adjust my schedule a little bit. And maybe my hour on my lunch break can't be just for inviting and following up. Maybe I'm going to have to like squeeze in some of those other activities during that hour too, if that makes sense. So just thinking about it and planning ahead. It's like Autumn has been telling us with nutrition. Planning and being prepared is not half the battle, it is the battle. And that can go with everything in your life, not just the food that you eat. So that is my game plan. So sticking to those business hours during the week, Monday through Friday, the best that I can. And obviously on Friday, that second hour on Friday might be earlier. So I might come home from work, get home at 5, and do my work hour from 5 to 6. That way I can have my whole evening. If Tyler and I want to go out on a date, if we want to go to the movies, or if I just want to take the rest of the night off, I might bump that up and just go ahead and push through and get it done. But it's those things that you're doing every single day that matter. It's the consistency that matters and showing up. Even when it's hard, even when people keep giving you objections, even when you feel like nothing is going anywhere. I promise it is. You just can't see it yet. And it's the work that you're putting in now is really, really going to pay off in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It's going to be those people who finally come back because you are so consistent and you continued to show up. You continued to follow up with them. You continued to invite them. Like, I had a girl tell me this week, she was like, she still hasn't joined. She's still not ready. But she was like, I just want to thank you for continuing to follow up with me. Even when I don't respond to you, even when, like, I keep telling you no, like, thank you for continuing to believe in me and following up with me, because I really appreciate it, because one day I am going to do this. And that made me feel so much better about all the follow-ups that I do send, because sometimes I'm like, I've sent them 4 messages and they haven't responded. Like, do I follow up again? And after hearing that from her, I was like, you know what? Yes, I am going to follow up again, because I don't know what she's dealing with. I don't know what life is throwing her way right now, or what it was throwing her way when I sent her that message a month ago and she didn't respond. Maybe she's ready now. Maybe she needs me to be that coach who didn't give up on her and kept following up, especially those people who want it and reached out to you first. That's my thing. If you reached out to me first, I know you need this, or you wouldn't have done that. So by you reaching out to me, that's you telling me, hey, I need your help. And even if you ghost me, I still know you need my help. And so I'm not going to give up on you, and I'm going to keep talking to you and keep following up. So that is basically all I had for today. I'm really excited about implementing business hours, because it's something that I've known that I need to do. And it's like, me and Emily talked about this. It's like setting those boundaries helps so much and puts you it just lifts a stress off of your shoulders, because I don't know if y'all feel like this, but when you're trying to do 2 things at one time, when you're trying to do your job and you're trying to work your business at the same time, it's just like your brain is going 100 miles an hour and you're not putting your best into either one. And so then you've worked all day and you're mentally exhausted and you really haven't even done anything. And I'm just so tired of feeling like that. So I'm really excited that I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick with it. And I want y'all to hold me to it. So I'm putting it out there. Y'all know 12 to 1 and 6:30 to 7:30 are my business hours during the week. If you see me on there working or commenting or doing things and it's not those hours, call me out. Was that helpful? Does anybody have any?
That was really good.
Okay.
Very good. That's like what I do when I go in the office. I put my phone face down away from me. Like I sit I have like 2 tables in my little cube, and I put it like all the way at the end of the thing. And that's when I noticed the same thing is when I would try to be on my phone responding to messages and being at work and still get everything done. Well, normally I could knock out my workday in 6 hours, but when I started doing that, it's just like I felt guilty. I felt like I was falling short from my job. It was just like, it was mentally, it's your focus is just like, when you do that, it's just not effective. That's what it is. And so I got back to doing that. And another thing that I wanted to say, because I am so guilty, is like, just because somebody texts you does not mean you have to respond immediately. Like, I don't care. Like, at this point, I mean, you can text me 25 times, but like if I'm not ready to respond to you, and at least if you're not in danger or your house is on fire or something like that, like I will get back to you when I can, like at my best, when I can give you the best response that you deserve.
Yeah, and it's also just like a respect thing for your job and your clients. Like, if you are giving that person on the other side of the message half your attention, like you're doing them a disservice just as much as you're doing your job a disservice by not focusing while you're there.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I feel like that's one of my, like this past month has been one of my problems, because when I have been in conversations, it's just like I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I need to hurry and respond, and just, I don't know. And that's why I like trying to work at Disney when you're standing in line. Not a good idea.
And it's like, yeah, there's going to be times in life when you do have to do those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Like when, like you're at Disney and you don't want to completely give up like on what you're doing with your business, but it's like you still know it's not the best.
Yeah.
It's, okay, could I just spend 30 focused minutes this morning before we head out? Could I get something done in 30 minutes and then be able to put it down? And then you're not like constantly thinking like, oh, I should really be doing this, I should really be doing that. Like, you can be in the moment. And that's another thing, is like being fully present in your life. Like whatever you're doing, being there. And that's one thing that I'm trying to get better about, because like Tyler and I, we don't get to spend a whole lot of time together. And especially after the fun show, we're really not going to get to spend much time together because he's going to be in Tennessee all summer. And I like told him this yesterday. I was like, you've been gone this week, and I'm really realizing like how much I take you for granted when you are here. Because when I'm with you, I'm not really with you, because I'm not giving you my full attention, because I'm on my computer or I'm on my phone. And I just feel like me setting these boundaries of like, after I get home until 6:30, you have my attention. Like I'm not trying to work and talk to you like from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock when I go to bed. Like, because that's how long it would take me to get everything done. And I still would go to bed and feel like I like failed for the day. Like I feel like I didn't get everything done. But like, you just have so much more mental capacity if you can focus and just be like, okay, I'm working right now, and then at 7:30 it cuts off, and that is no more work, and I'm fully present, like watching TV with him or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I noticed it this week. Like, what was like a really big eye opener for me this week is we had a bunch of our project teams coming in. They were there all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday. And so I couldn't work my business while I was with them. Like, I couldn't have my phone. I had to be 100% focused on them. And even though we were so busy and focused all day long, I still left with like mental capacity to go home and work my business, because I hadn't been multitasking all day. I had been focusing on one thing.
Allison, have you read High Performance Habits?
Mm-hmm.
You should probably read that again because I feel like he talks a lot about your focus in that.
Yeah, I actually like read half of it and then I started over and read it again. But yeah, I probably didn't need to read it again.
Well, like what I've been struggling with is like I just feel guilty all the damn time. Like I just got anxiety all the time over like if I'm not doing something, I'm like anxiety. Like I can't even sit down and watch a movie for 2 hours without feeling bad about it.
Yeah, I know that feeling too.
Because I'm like, this is not productive. For one, I don't like to watch TV anyway because I feel like it's a waste of time.
I understand. I feel the same way. And there's like certain things I watch. Like I watch Grey's Anatomy. That's the only TV show that I watch that I like actually keep up with. But I never watch it on Thursdays when it comes on because I'm usually working or I need to be in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I watch it, and when I do watch it, I try to make sure that like whatever I wanted to get done that day, I got it done first, so I don't have to feel guilty about taking the 45 minutes to sit down and watch something that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like us realizing that if we can focus and be intentional and work hard when we're working, then we deserve to have that time where we're not and where we're unplugged and we can enjoy whatever it is that we're doing, even if it's not productive. Like, we got to realize that we don't have to be productive 24 hours a day in our life.
I mean, that's huge for I got to get that through my head. I mean, if you do you want to quit recording?
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't want to say this being recorded.